When blizzards shut down modern supply chains, Amish families survive entirely on foods preserved months earlier. No grocery stores, no refrigeration, no backup plans. These 10 traditional foods have prevented winter starvation for over 300 years. Food 1. Pressure canned meat. Inside every Amish root cellar, rows of mason jars contain the ultimate winter insurance: pressure canned meat. Beef, pork, and chicken, sealed at 240 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures, create shelf-stable protein lasting 12 to 18 months without refrigeration. This ready-to-eat meat requires no thawing, no preparation, just open and consume during emergencies when fresh food becomes impossible to obtain. Food 2. Root cellar vegetables. Carved into hillsides or built underground, Amish root cellars maintain perfect 32 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures naturally. Carrots, potatoes, beets, and turnips stored in damp sand remain fresh for 6 months or longer. These underground vaults use Earth's natural insulation and carefully controlled ventilation to prevent both freezing and spoilage. Families can harvest fresh vegetables throughout winter while neighbors depend on expensive, shipped produce that often spoils during transport delays. Food 3. Sauerkraut and fermented vegetables. Long before scientists understood vitamin C deficiency, Amish families prevented scurvy using fermented cabbage. Sauerkraut creation begins with fresh cabbage shredded and salted, then packed into crocks where beneficial bacteria create natural preservation. This fermentation process produces probiotics essential for immune system function during harsh winter months. Pickled beets, beans, and cucumbers join sauerkraut in providing crucial nutrients when fresh vegetables become unavailable. The tangy, preserved vegetables deliver essential vitamins while their natural acidity inhibits harmful bacteria growth, creating food that actually improves with age. Food 4. Dried corn and bean combinations. The foundation of Amish winter nutrition rests on a simple scientific principle: combining dried corn and beans creates complete protein equivalent to meat. Corn provides methionine, while beans supply lysine, amino acids that together sustain human life indefinitely. Families store these staples in sealed containers where they remain viable for decades if kept dry and protected from rodents. During winter, corn gets ground into meal using hand-cranked mills, creating cornbread and porridge. Beans rehydrate into hearty soups and stews. This protein-complete combination sustained Native Americans for thousands of years and continues feeding Amish communities when other food sources fail completely. Food 5. Apple butter and preserved fruits. Every fall, Amish communities gather for apple butter making, a social event where families transform bushels of fresh apples into concentrated nutrition that stores without refrigeration. Copper kettles bubble over wood fires for hours, reducing apples into thick, dark butter packed with natural sugars and essential vitamins. The slow cooking process caramelizes natural sugars while eliminating moisture that would cause spoilage. Alongside apple butter, families pressure can peaches, pears, and berries in glass jars using traditional water bath methods. These preserved fruits provide crucial vitamin C during winter months when scurvy threatens malnourished communities. The natural fruit acids create environments hostile to dangerous bacteria while maintaining flavors and nutrition. Single jars contain enough vitamins to prevent deficiency diseases that historically killed thousands during harsh winters. Food 6. Smoked and salt-cured meats. Traditional smokehouse construction represents centuries of perfected meat preservation science. Amish families slaughter livestock during late fall when cooler temperatures prevent spoilage during processing. Salt curing begins immediately. Coarse salt draws moisture from fresh meat through osmotic pressure, creating environments where harmful bacteria cannot survive. After initial curing, meat hangs in smokehouses where smoldering hardwood fires burn continuously for weeks. Cold smoking at temperatures below 80 degrees Fahrenheit allows smoke penetration without cooking, creating protective barriers against spoilage organisms. Properly smoked bacon, ham, and sausages store in cool, dry spaces for months without refrigeration. The combination of salt curing and smoking removes moisture while depositing antimicrobial compounds that prevent bacterial growth. This dual preservation method creates shelf-stable protein that sustained European settlers through brutal American winters. Modern Amish families continue these practices, producing meat products that outlast power outages and supply chain disruptions that leave modern families desperate. The smoking process itself requires careful wood selection. Hickory, apple, and oak woods burn slowly while imparting distinctive flavors. Different wood types create unique taste profiles that families pass down through generations. Temperature control remains critical throughout the smoking period, with experienced smokers reading subtle changes in smoke, color, and density. Traditional smokehouses feature adjustable vents that control airflow and temperature, allowing craftsmen to maintain optimal conditions regardless of weather changes. The final products contain natural nitrates from wood smoke that preserve color and prevent botulism, eliminating need for artificial chemicals used in commercial processing. Food 7. Natural dairy preservation. Converting perishable milk into lasting cheese and butter requires precise timing and traditional skills passed down through generations. Fresh milk from morning milking transforms into cheese through careful temperature control and bacterial cultures maintained by each family. Young cheese wheels receive salt coatings and natural wax sealing, creating airtight barriers that prevent spoilage while allowing proper aging. Properly aged cheese develops complex flavors while remaining safe for consumption months after production. Butter making occurs during peak milk production periods when cows provide surplus quantities. Salt-churned butter gets packed into ceramic crocks and sealed with additional salt layers that draw out remaining moisture. This traditional preservation method creates butter that remains fresh without refrigeration for extended periods. Some families also preserve butter in cool spring houses, where constant water flow maintains optimal temperatures. The calcium and essential fats in preserved dairy products provide nutritional requirements often missing from winter diets dependent solely on grains and preserved vegetables. Traditional cheesemaking requires starter cultures that families maintain for decades, passing bacterial strains through generations like precious heirlooms. Each family's cheese develops unique flavors based on their specific bacterial cultures and aging techniques. Cave aging in naturally cool spaces creates optimal conditions for cheese maturation, where consistent temperatures and humidity levels allow beneficial molds to develop protective rinds. Whey byproducts from cheese production aren't wasted. They feed livestock or ferment into nutritious beverages. Fresh milk also becomes cottage cheese through simple acid precipitation, providing protein-rich food that stores longer than liquid milk but requires less aging time than hard cheeses. Food 8. Honey and natural sweeteners. Archaeological discoveries prove honey's remarkable preservation properties. Ancient Egyptian tombs contained perfectly edible honey after thousands of years. Amish beekeeping traditions harness this natural preservation miracle, maintaining hives that produce both food and medicine. Raw honey contains natural antibacterial enzymes that prevent spoilage while providing concentrated calories essential during physically demanding winter work. Beyond sweetening, families use honey treating coughs, sore throats, and wound healing when medical care remains inaccessible. Maple syrup production begins each spring when rising temperatures create ideal sap flow conditions in sugar maple trees. Families tap trees using traditional spiles and collect sap in buckets, then boil the thin liquid over wood fires until it concentrates into thick syrup. 40 gallons of raw sap reduced to just 1 gallon of finished syrup, creating calorie-dense sweetener that stores indefinitely in sealed containers. The boiling process eliminates harmful microorganisms while concentrating natural sugars and minerals. Together, honey and maple syrup provide high-energy nutrition that sustains families during periods when other food sources become scarce or completely unavailable. Beekeeping knowledge passes through generations, with master beekeepers teaching proper hive management, seasonal care, and honey harvesting timing. Different flower sources create distinct honey varieties. Clover, wildflower, and basswood honeys each offer unique flavors and medicinal properties. Wax cappings from honey extraction provide waterproofing materials and candle making supplies. Propolis, the sticky substance bees use sealing hives, becomes natural antibiotic treatments for wounds and infections. Sugar maple trees require decades of growth before producing quality sap, making established maple groves incredibly valuable family assets. Traditional evaporation methods use wood-fired arch systems that concentrate sap efficiently while developing complex flavors impossible to achieve with modern vacuum systems. Food 9. Medicinal herbs and healing plants. Amish medicine cabinets contain no pharmaceutical drugs. Instead, dried herbs grown in summer gardens provide natural health care throughout winter months. Echinacea roots boost immune systems, fighting off infections when professional medical care remains miles away. Willow bark contains natural salicin compounds similar to modern aspirin, reducing fever and pain during illness. Ginseng cultivation requires years of patience, but provides adaptogenic compounds that help bodies cope with winter stress and maintain energy levels. Herb drying begins during peak growing season when plants contain maximum concentrations of active compounds. Families harvest herbs at optimal times, then dry them in attics or specially constructed drying sheds where proper air circulation prevents mold growth. Properly dried herbs retain potency for years when stored in sealed containers away from light and moisture. Traditional knowledge passed between generations ensures proper identification, harvesting timing, and preparation methods. Elder women teach younger family members which plants treat specific ailments and how to prepare herbal remedies safely. This botanical pharmacy provides treatment for common winter ailments, respiratory infections, digestive problems, and injuries when conventional medicine becomes unavailable. The self-sufficiency these medicinal plants provide has prevented countless deaths during harsh winters when families couldn't reach doctors or hospitals. Chamomile flowers create calming teas that soothe upset stomachs and promote restful sleep during stressful periods. Peppermint leaves preserve well when dried and provide relief from nausea and digestive issues. Calendula petals become healing salves for cuts and burns when mixed with rendered animal fats. Comfrey leaves speed wound healing through natural compounds that promote tissue regeneration. Traditional preparation methods include tinctures made with high-proof alcohol that extract and preserve active plant compounds for years. Herbal knowledge requires precise dosing and contraindication awareness, skills developed through apprenticeship with experienced herbalists who understand potential interactions and proper therapeutic ranges for different age groups and health conditions. Food 10. Emergency grain storage. The ultimate survival insurance for Amish families lies in carefully stored grain reserves, wheat, oats, and barley that sustain life when all other food sources fail. These grains store successfully for decades when properly protected from moisture, rodents, and insects using traditional methods perfected over centuries. Wheat berries maintain nutritional value and germination capacity far longer than processed flour, providing complete nutrition when ground fresh using hand-cranked mills. Families store grains in sealed wooden containers treated with natural pest deterrents, then place these containers in cool, dry locations where temperature variations remain minimal. Oats provide hearty breakfast porridge that delivers sustained energy for physically demanding winter work. Barley creates nutritious soups and stews that stretch other ingredients while providing essential carbohydrates. The psychological comfort of knowing grain reserves exist helps families endure difficult periods with confidence. Grinding grains into fresh flour provides better nutrition than store-bought alternatives processed months earlier and stripped of natural oils and vitamins. Traditional knowledge includes proper grain rotation, using older supplies first while adding fresh harvests annually. This storage system creates food security that industrial agriculture cannot match. During economic collapse, natural disasters, or supply chain failures, these grain reserves have sustained entire communities when modern food distribution systems completely failed, proving their continued relevance in an uncertain world. Grain storage containers require careful construction using techniques that prevent moisture, infiltration, and pest access. Traditional wooden bins feature tight-fitting lids and natural pest repellents like bay leaves or diatomaceous earth. Temperature monitoring ensures grains remain stable throughout seasonal changes,